Hi, my name's Liesel Wett and I'm the CEO of Australian Pathology. Australian Pathology is the peak national body for private pathology in Australia, and we represent 95% of the sector. And one of the big things that we've been involved in fact, the first step for Australia to stay safe against the COVID pandemic was to test through a pathology test. So Australian Pathology, our key role is to influence health policy. So my role is to work with key decision makers, ministers, members of parliament, the Department of Health and other people that work with us to make changes to legislation and regulation to make health services available, basically, for everyone across Australia. And so in the beginning, when we didn't have a test, we managed to work with the government and we got a test listed on Medicare, which meant Australians could access free health services for COVID testing. People don't realise that when elective surgery was shut down, that IVF patients, so women and couples that were mid-cycle, had all of their care stopped instantly, like that. So part of my role was to work with the government to say, well, hang on a minute, we've forgotten the implications of something like this. So one of the things we had to do was to go in with government and say to them, you can't shut down elective surgery for IVF patients. These are people's lives we're dealing with. This is their one chance, some of them. They're mid-cycle, they've been injecting hormones to make sure that they can have a family. We can't shut this down. And so we got that overturned. If we weren't agile and if we weren't working in partnership with others, with government, with the AMA, with other practitioners, we wouldn't have got the changes we did. And it was a pretty phenomenal time, and the pressure and the stress and the feeling that if you didn't do your job properly, someone might die, it was phenomenal. But people all came together. You know, we joke about Team Australia, but it was a Team Australia approach. We're just ecstatic that pathology has played a role in actually keeping people safe in a pandemic, once in a 100-year event, and we were there front and centre. So the future of pathology is really all about using your genome to test, to see what it looks like, and that determines what your healthcare needs will be. Researchers are looking at specific genomes and what that means, and there's a whole area of pharmacogenomics which is about your genomes and what pharmaceutical drugs will work better for you. There's a whole piece of research around depression and different clinical pharmacological interventions for depression, and depending on your genes, one will work and one won't. So there's so much more that's coming. It's really quite exciting. And my job will be to make sure that Australians get access to those tests.